Hello, and welcome back to the coronavirus update video number 108.0. My name's Adrian Cockings, and if you are joining me, welcome, because I have not done one of these videos for about 2 weeks now, and I know a lot of you were getting concerned whether I was going to be coming back to it or not. The answer is yes. I've just been very busy, obviously with family, with Christmas, with New Year's, and a short little vacation break that I took just before this work year started again. So first of all, welcome back everyone. I hope you had a fantastic Christmas. I hope you had a fantastic New Year, holidays, whether it was Zooming with families over in other countries, or whether you were able to meet up with your families here in Spain or back in the UK. Which a lot of people at the moment you've been able to get back to the UK to see your friends and family, or you moved back there. But yes, welcome back. I've missed you guys, I really have, and all of your positive comments and messages that you've been sending me, wishing me a happy Christmas and a happy New Year. I really appreciate it, and yes, I try to read every single one of them. So again, thank you very, very much for all of those messages. It's really nice to keep reading those when I wake up. Okay, so we have got a lot of news to go over. Now again, this is still how can I explain this? This is the Friday, and I think there's going to be more things coming out over the weekend. So Monday, I will be back again on Monday, and from now on is going to be the regular time slot of 4 o'clock on Mondays and Fridays. Okay, and that's 4 o'clock in Spanish time, 3 o'clock UK time. Okay. But yeah, I think there's going to be some more news coming out over the weekend, and possibly as soon as I finish with this broadcast, there's probably going to be some more things and more changes coming out over the next 24 hours. I could just predict it already happening, but I'm just letting you guys know we'll be posting on the page as much as possible and getting the blogs and the blog posts out there as soon as we can as well. So again, welcome everyone who is just tuning in. And if you are tuning in and you are watching me right now, click that share button and get this out to as many people as possible, because I know there's a lot of people who have been asking where I have been, but if you can share it out to them, fantastic, okay? All right, let's jump into it. Today's date is Friday, the 8th of January 2021. Yeah, we are now in the year 2021. Now, I know a lot of people on their New Year's resolutions were saying 2021 is going to be the year, it's going to be the best year, COVID's going to finish, we're going to do this and this and this. Unfortunately, and I hate to be the burster of all dreams here, 2021 has started, but COVID has not gone away, and it doesn't look like it's going to be going anywhere anytime soon. So for everyone who has been dreaming that 2021 would be their year, well, the start might be a bit rocky, but who knows how we go through for the rest of the year. We just have to try and keep as positive as possible and keep as safe as possible. But in Spain, we have just gone over the 2 million positive cases in Spain. And of course, all the numbers of other countries have been coming out as well. But this is, of course, the numbers that have been coming out to Spain, and we have reached over 2 million cases. Now, what else has been going on? Well, obviously, there's been a large rise in Spain with positive cases over the last 48 hours, 72 hours. And I kind of predicted that this would happen. One, because the Christmas holidays, they were lifting some of the restrictions and making it a bit easier for people to go and see friends, go see families, and even putting it to 10 people on specific days as well in most parts of the country. And that, I believe, has actually put maybe a small effect onto the positive cases that have been coming out. Now, again, positive cases, this could be asymptomatic people or people who have to be hospitalized and admitted to hospital. But again, all of this is counted into the cases. Where was I saying? So Christmas has just been, and it has actually been 14 days since Christmas Eve and the Christmas holidays in general. So yeah, would be about the time frame where we would see the positive cases start to go up and up and up, and even until New Year, and 2 weeks on from New Year, so from the 14th, I would say another week or so, we're going to keep seeing these high rises of the positive cases coming out. But the numbers that I personally want to look at is more the ICU. the intensive care units all across Spain, not just in the Murcia region, but all across Spain as well. Because yes, they have been going up, they're not uncontrollable. They are manageable, and people are able to try, or the doctors and nurses, they're able to manage the amount of cases going in to the ICU units. So yeah. Okay, next thing as well. From today, most kids in Spain or most children are going back to school today. So again, is this going to be affecting us in 2 weeks' time? We don't know. But what has actually been coming out is the health minister has been saying that schools have actually not been the problem at all. They have noticed that there have been very, very low outbreaks with regards to schools, classes, teachers, etc. And they obviously have to try and keep this as controlled as possible. And I think this has actually been a really, really good positive here. I'm actually friends with lots of teachers in this local area as well, and they have said that the control that they have for kids going in and out of school, the bubbles that they've got in the school and the playgrounds and everything, it's been working very, very well. So yeah, that's a good thing there. So for all the children going back to school who have been back to school today, I hope you enjoyed your first day. Okay, and the next thing that we're going to have a look at is a lot of people have been asking, are we going to be going into another lockdown? The answer is no, not for the moment. Now, again, in a press release from the health ministry, they have said that there are many other measures that they would want to put in before a strict confinement, like we have seen in other countries such as UK as well. But the Spanish government have been saying that they do not want to put in a full home lockdown if they can avoid it. Now, it's not off the table. We're never saying it's off the table, but there are more measures that they would put in before putting in a complete lockdown. But yeah, that's basically the news, the light news that have been coming out in Spain in general. And now we're going to go into some different regions where the rules have changed over the last 24, 48 hours or so. And that is Murcia we're going to start with, okay? So Murcia, the region where I am in, Murcia have put in some new rules as of yesterday. But they are not going to be coming into effect until tomorrow, Saturday, the 9th of January. Now, curfew is now going to be from 10 p.m. until 6 a.m. Maximum people still at 6 people for any gatherings that is private in your home or going to a restaurant or a bar. And the borders in and out of Murcia are still closed. So the borders connecting to Almeria, Valencia, all of these are still closed. Now, there are also municipality restrictions or perimeter restrictions as well. And this was actually the biggest shock because they announced that there were 7 municipalities that were going back into a perimeter restriction because they were on the extreme alert. But as of yesterday, they announced that there were going to be more municipalities going into these perimeter restrictions, which unfortunately I am in one of them. So this is Avenida, Fortuna, Ricota, Jumilla, Moratalla, La Union, Lorqui, Mula, Villanueva de Ríos, Villanueva del Río Segura, Santomera, Yecla, Los Cáceres, San Pedro de Pineta, Las Torres de Cotillas, Murcia, which is where I'm in, Molina de Segura, Alguazas, I think is Alguazas, Cartagena, Cieza, Lorca, and Cuenca. So all of these municipalities, these are now going into a perimeter restriction. And there are some which are not on the list, such as San Javier. You will not be going into a restriction, a perimeter restriction. However, you will not be able to go into any of these municipalities which I had just said. So if someone in San Javier wanted to go to Los Cáceres, you will not be able to. You would still have to stay in San Javier. So it's strange how they are doing it in this way, but this is basically what they're doing in the Murcia region. Now, in addition to having the perimeter restrictions on these municipalities, hospitality may only open on the terraces at 100%. They will no longer be allowing people to dine inside at any percentage. It's only at the terraces, but it is at 100 capacity. Well, with the weather that we've been having over the last couple of days, I don't know if that's a good thing. Now, bars and restaurants can also always still offer the takeaway service, so delivery and takeaway services like what they've been doing since March back in last year. I can say that now. Yeah, this is the newest rules that have been going on. But now at the moment there is still no restriction on time limit until the curfew, obviously, of when bars and restaurants can close. But a lot of places are now starting to close at certain times, such as 6 p.m, because they feel that that is going to be their cutoff, because outside in the winter time, after the sun goes down, it gets very, very cold. So yes, a lot of bars and restaurants are closing earlier than they are allowed to. They're allowed to go up until 10 o'clock, but a lot of these places are closing a little bit earlier because it's just going to be getting too cold for them. Also in the Murcia region, vaccines have started as of the 23rd of December, I believe, last year. But as of today, they've started vaccinating the health workers and hospital staff workers as well. So that is great news. They are getting to the frontline workers and they are getting vaccinated, which is really good. So the vaccine is hitting Murcia and it's hitting a lot of the regions around Spain. So that's great news there. The next thing we're going to look at is Valencia. Now, Valencia, a lot of people are still very, very confused with what Valencia is classed as. Now, it's a Comunidad de Valencia, is made up of 3 areas, okay? And these 3 areas, a lot of you may be based in Alicante, which I know a lot of followers on this page, especially, they are in the Alicante base. You've also got Valencia and then Castillo, I can't remember what it was called, up at the top of the Comunidad de Valencia. But this is all one big region, okay? This is a province, which is the Valencian Comunidad de Valencia. But you will come under specific regions, which will be Alicante, Valencia, or you'll come under a municipality, which is the smaller areas in the Alicante area or the Valencia area, etc. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because there are a lot of new restrictions coming into place, especially with municipalities, and they're doing perimeter restrictions on a lot of these areas as well. But a lot of people don't really know where they come under. So I just wanted to explain this, okay? And I'll continue to explain it as we go on as well. So in Valencia, the perimeter confinement of the Valencia community, just like always, the whole of Valencia, it's just like Murcia, it is on a perimeter restriction. And this is now being extended until the 31st of January 2021. So you've still got another 3 weeks to go of the Valencian community with a restriction. So no one will be able to go in and out unless for justified reasons. And also there are 29 municipalities which are going into a 14-day confinement, but it's a regional restriction. That's all it is, a perimeter restriction, okay? And 3 of them are in the province of Alicante, okay? So very, very important to remember. And that is Alcoy, Castalla, and Polop. I've never heard of Polop before in my life. I'm so sorry. This is why I should read the script before I start putting it out. Polop. Oh, God. Okay, that's P-O-L-O-P. If anyone lives in that municipality, I apologize. I should not be laughing at where you live, but Polop. Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm going to see all those laughing faces coming up any minute now. Oh, okay, right. Serious. Okay, we have to try and be serious with this. So those... Those 3 municipalities in the Alicante region, the area, they will also be in a municipality perimeter restriction, okay? Now, also, the curfew is brought forwards, and that is going to be from 10 p.m. until 6 a.m. the next morning, just like in the Murcia region as well. And bars and restaurants will close at 5 p.m. Just like I said about Murcia, they don't have a limit on time and everything, but in Valencia, the whole of Valencia, bars and restaurants will now have to close at 5 p.m. Opening time can be whenever. It can be from 6 a.m. as soon as someone wakes up and wants to go out. But the curfew, sorry, not the curfew, the time frame when they have to close is at 5 p.m. Also, smoking is prohibited on terraces and bars and restaurants, and the maximum number of people per table is reduced to 4 people. So, like I said, Murcia have different rules, Valencia have different rules, Andalucía have different rules. So this is why I try and get through all of these as much as possible. But we're just talking about the Valencia region at the moment. So yes, the maximum number of people per table is now limited to 4 people. Now, the capacity of shops is also reduced to 30%, except for essential services, which will remain at 50%. And the number of people permitted at a family and social gather event is 6 people. So if you do have a family over one Sunday afternoon for a roast, you're allowed 6 people. But if you go out in public to a restaurant or a bar, you have to now limit it to 4 people, unless you are from the same family, obviously. Now, when I say the same family, the same household. Pull up. Okay, now Andalucía. Now Andalucía, there hasn't actually been news coming out with the new restrictions. So the current restrictions that are in place from last year, from I believe it was the 20th of December, those are currently still in place. But I'm predicting over the next couple of days, they will be producing some sort of new rules like Murcia, like Valencia, like Madrid, and they will be producing these online over the next couple of days. I can see this happening. So at the moment, there is no news coming out of Andalucía, no changes as of yet. But as soon as something does come out, I will let you know. Now, again, Andalucía covers Almería, Granada, Malaga, all of these areas down there. So as soon as I get information, I will let you know. Okay. The last 2 things we're going to have a look at is traveling back to Spain. So a lot of people over the Christmas holidays, they travel back to the UK to spend Christmas with their friends, their families, etc. and came back. But with, of course, Brexit that went on, and with the new strain of coronavirus that was discovered, there have been more restrictions put into place. And these restrictions are, of course, now, and this was back on I believe on the 23rd, they announced this, or the 24th, people now coming into Spain have to now have proof of residency, proof of citizenship, the TIE card, or if you are currently in the process of getting your residency, and that means you've begun the process, you've started handing in paperwork, and you have proof that you have started this process, this paperwork going, and yeah, bureaucracy in Spain is a nightmare, but if you've got proof that you have started it, then this is sufficient to be able to say that you are allowed to come back into Spain. If you do not have your residency, your TIE card, or your citizenship, you will not be able to come back into Spain, and you could be turned away at the border or the airport. So just be very, very careful when you are traveling back to Spain. Also, the current rules for PCR tests are still in place. Anyone coming into Spain, you have to get a PCR test. And as of today, anyone going into the UK, you also have to get a negative PCR test. And this is within the 72-hour range. So if you have to go back to the UK, if it's an emergency and you have to go back to the UK, you now have to get a negative PCR test to go there, 72 hours prior to going, and a negative PCR test coming back to Spain. That's going to be an expensive trip. Okay, and the last thing, vaccinations. This is just a last little thing here. Vaccinations in Spain have started. Now, a lot of people have been messaging me privately saying, how will I be able to get the vaccination? Now, unfortunately, there is no protocol yet with regards to citizens, normal people just like us. The government has stated that they will be putting the health workers, doctors, nurses, anyone who works on the front line, they will be as priority, as well as the elderly and vulnerable. They will be priority, and then it will start rolling out to the masses. Now, when I say starts rolling out to the masses, it will probably be starting at the elder generation first, then moving its way down, possibly going for kids and their mothers as well. But there is no actual timeline on this or anything like this. And no, you are not able to call to request the vaccination. They will have to call you. Now, the only way that this is going to be happening, and as well, this is really, really crucial because a lot of people have been saying lots of different things. If you are in Spain, you're a resident in Spain, you're paying your taxes in Spain, and you have your health card here in Spain, you will be able to get the vaccination. This means anyone who is here in Spain illegally, not paying into the system, doesn't have residency, and not paying taxes, unfortunately, you will not be able, well, you might not be able to get the vaccination from the Spanish government. There might be other private companies who can get hold of the vaccination where you can get it. But if you're not paying into the system here in Spain, if you still have your residency in the UK, the Spanish government won't be calling you. You have to be part of the Spanish system to be able to get the vaccination. So this is where one thing I just wanted to clear up, because I have had a few messages before of people who have residency in the UK, but they are out here for the next 4 months and they wondered if they're able to get the vaccination. Unfortunately, if you're not paying into the Spanish system, you will not be able to get it. And this is actually from the 1st of January because of Brexit, unfortunately. Now, Spain is also yet to receive another 600,000 Moderna vaccines, which is another vaccine just like Pfizer. So hopefully another 600,000 vaccines or doses of the vaccine should be arriving in the next couple of weeks, as well as all of the Pfizer vaccines. And I think there's a third one that has just been accepted in the UK, but I'm just waiting to see on the news on that, whether it's going to be into Europe or just separate countries. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of interesting there. Oh, and the last thing, one more thing, which I thought was actually really, really important to mention. Now, there's a new strain of the COVID-19 virus. And of course, a lot of people have been saying it's the British strain of the COVID-19. No, I wouldn't call it that. I really wouldn't want to call it that, because that's just how a president in America called the first virus. He called it the Chinese virus. You wouldn't go around saying it's the Chinese virus, the same as you wouldn't call it the British virus. It's a new strain of virus that unfortunately started not started, but it evolved initially in Britain. It could have evolved in other countries and then it went to Britain. So for all the people who are in the comments, and it's not just on this, it's actually not on this page. You guys are absolutely fantastic. It's on a couple of other pages where I've been reading or I've been tagged and stuff like this, and seeing some of the hatred and the anger in the comment boxes, it does make me want to stop reading a lot of the comments, obviously, but not with you guys. You guys are absolutely awesome. But that's how I'm going to finish, and that's where I'm going to finish today. Now, please remember, I'm going to be back on Monday at 4 p.m. bringing you all the latest news, and I'm hoping that Andalusia are going to be putting out some sort of new rules with regards to curfews, whether they're doing perimeter restrictions, etc. Also, if you want any of the information about Valencia, about Murcia, go back to this page. We've put some posts over the last 2 or 3 days, and there's some links to the PDFs that you can download with all the restrictions in English. Thanks to N332 for sharing that information there as well. And I believe Torrevieja translators have done a part of that too. Anyway, guys, that is it for today. Thank you very, very much for watching. Thank you for liking, for commenting, for sharing, and thank you for joining back again in the year 2021. Oh, and thank you for all the stars that you guys have been sending as well. I really, really do appreciate all those stars. It's a little pick-me-up, a little tip to keep me going as much as I can. So all 900 of you, I believe there was 1,000 one point. Thank you so much for watching today. Remember to share this out to as many people as possible, because this information I know is going to be useful, especially with Murcia, the rules coming in tomorrow. So yeah, share it out to as many people as you can. All right, guys, that is it for today. I will see you on Monday. Bye, guys.